First off, I want to thank everyone for your time and your attendance to join our workshop today. Yesterday was the launch of our barcode scanning feature, and we're so excited. And we'd love to go through a demo and explain some of the details behind barcode scanning and why we decided to go ahead and introduce this feature to you.
All right.
So we have Haley Mullen, who is our team lead in customer support. She's going to be going through the demo with you. Myself, Nicole Fevrin, I'm the WorkWave Route Manager, GPS Product Manager. And finally, we have Yasser Bar, who is our customer success rep. And many of you have spoken with him in your initial onboarding. So we're happy to have this team show you what we have to offer with the barcode scanning feature. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of the new feature, I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge one of the things that is having a firm grip on our entire world, which is COVID-19. During this time of uncertainty, we really want to make it clear to you that we feel as though we're an extension of your team. So whatever you're going through, we're in it with you. And we just wanted to give a couple of things, words of encouragement, just to help you through these times. And we just hope that you continue to lead from a perspective of faith and not fear. Now is a time where it's very easy to become very defeated or discouraged and in the face of adversity, but we want to just encourage you to keep a motivation for not only you, but as well as your drivers and your teams. WorkWave, we're definitely in it for the long haul. Yeah, sir, if you can go back to that slide, thank you. We're in it for the long haul. We've definitely seen our share of challenges throughout the almost 40 years that WorkWave has been around. We've seen the 2008, financial crisis here in New Jersey, Hurricane Sandy, and we've weathered all the storms with our customers, and we came out on top with our customers. As far as Route Manager as a software solution, we do consider our tool as an essential part of your business. It helps create a lot of efficiencies in the course of your day, and it also helps with the social distancing and remote working that needs to be done during this time of shutdowns and remote working. So we definitely see ourselves as an essential part of your business. And finally, in all adversity, there's always some type of opportunity that can be afforded to businesses. So we challenge you to look at the opportunities in the face of this adversity. Some of the businesses that we know that you're in are considered essential during this time of shutdown. For example, our courier, logistics, food distribution companies, they're definitely in higher demand than ever before. So we're glad to know that Route Manager can help create opportunities and efficiencies during this time. So that's all. I just wanted to take a moment, like I said, to acknowledge COVID-19 and just try to share some tips or, words of encouragement for that. With that said, we'll move on and talk about what our agenda is today. Again, we're going to talk about why we decided to even include barcode scanning as a feature, what is required for you to use this feature, and how and why the feature is used. We're going to do a quick demo. Haley will be taking you through what the barcode scanning looks like from a dispatcher view, as well as from a mobile app. And then ultimately, we're going to talk about Route Manager 360, the required software that is needed in order for you to even have barcode scanning. And then finally, like we always do, we're going to go into Q&A. Okay, so one of the things that we want to ask you, we want to offer up a poll question right now and ask you if you do use barcode scanning. You can go ahead and submit your answers right now. And then we'll just take a couple of minutes to get the votes in, and then we'll share the results with you. Just give you about a minute to do that, or 30 seconds.
Sorry, Nicole, while we're letting everyone fill that in and while they're doing that, if everyone wants to, drop us in the chat, I'm sorry, in the questions pane, what programs you're using to do that right now, and how you're integrating it with your CRMs or order management systems, that's always handy as well. We love getting that information. Just drop it in the questions pane.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, I think we're ready to share the poll results. Oh, wow, it's almost half and half. So we have 52% of you are saying that you do currently use barcode scanning, which is great. And then we have 48% of you who do not use that. All right, that was a fun exercise. Thank you for sharing. We'll just go back into the deck, just a moment. Just bear with us, please.
All right, back to it, Nicole. Sorry about that.
No worries at all. So why did we add barcode scanning? Well, looking at the poll, looks like more than half of you already use barcode scanning. And we had gotten a lot of results from Pendo feedback, as well as, requests that you have with our account managers that you do want barcode scanning. You were anxious to get it. So we're happy to announce as of yesterday, now we do have this feature available to you. Okay, some of the things that we wanted to share as far as industry stats. One of the things that we could take for granted is that with missed packs, it definitely equals lost revenue in so many different ways. So here are some stats that we researched. 86% of shoppers are unlikely to repeat a purchase from a brand or a company that they've had some sort of inaccuracy with. Number two, if you have inventory inaccuracy, it can account for 8.75% of lost sales. Order packing or picking rather, mistakes can cost about $22 per order for companies. Finally, the average cost that a company loses in revenue is over $390,000, all because of missed picks. So this is something that is a huge opportunity to resolve with barcode scanning. Now I'm going to hand it off to Haley, and she's going to explain what is required to use barcode scanning.
Thanks, Nicole.
You're welcome.
Okie doke. So what do we need in terms of our services to be able to use the barcode scanning? So if you have our Route Manager 360 package, this is already built in. There's no added fee. And also, if you have the bar scanning built into your orders, then your drivers will be able to use that via the mobile app along with the other proofs of delivery that are already available to them. If you are not sure if you have our Route Manager 360 package, be sure to send over a ticket to the support team by using the Ask Support button within the interface, and someone from the team will be happy to help you with that and get you in touch with your account manager if needed. Okay, and how and why is this feature used? So part of what we want to do is we want to make your workflow easier. So this is going to help in pickup drop-off scenarios. Maybe you have a package that needs to be picked up at the depot and dropped off at a customer's location. You can have that backup and that assurance on both sides now. So we're helping to ensure that accuracy. It's going to help streamline the driver workflow. What is this going to do? This will help reduce time needed at a customer's location. They'll just be able to scan. They're not going to need to, fiddle around with paperwork or anything like that. And it's going to help minimize errors. With the way this feature is set up, the driver will be able to let you know if barcodes are missing, if a barcode is unable to be scanned, and things like that. So we are reducing error. All of this taken together is going to make everything from your business, beginning to end, run smoother. And now I'm going to pass this off to Yasser, and he's going to go through a demo of importing orders and working in the interface. So bear with us a second here while he flips. You got it, Yasser.
All right. So taking a look at it, guys, we're going to get started with a quick Excel review. Just taking a look actually at our spreadsheet that we have here and just showing you exactly what I've done in order to allow this for Route Manager to see my barcodes, pass them on to the mobile app, and all that. So what I have here is I have a pickup, drop-off address, all that stuff, custom fields, as you can see, and then, of course, my 2 barcode columns. So I'm going to show you how to import for pickup and drop-off scenarios for validation and confirmation at the drop-off or the pickup, vice versa, whatever you do, depending, and then show you a single import. And, of course, here, I want you to know that up to 10 barcodes per order is the limit. And if you're adding more than 1 barcode to the same order, like I have here for the pickup portion, I have separated them with a comma, space, and then the next barcode. So that's always our recommendation for that, for Route Manager to be able to read it during the import process. So now that we're good with that, I'm going to go ahead and import it here. And I'm going to start off with the pickup and drop off. So I have my file, and then import orders. And then, of course, the mapping portion. So, of course, here we have a pop-up that's telling us, you know, that this is recommended for mapping this column to identify your barcodes. And by default, these will not be identified. So you could just come here. In this case, everything is pickup and drop-off. So I have to identify it twice, one for the pickup portion and one for the drop-off. And then, of course, pick the correct one. That way it shows up on both orders for validation and confirmation, and then apply mappings. And of course, import. Now, I'm going to undo that. I'll get into more details about this feature, of course, that we added due to so much customer feedback from AMs and things like that, and Pendo. All your requests have been coming in about this barcode feature, so it's exactly why we came out with it. So import orders again. Let me make sure I pick the correct order type. Sorry about that. Import. And it's telling me I have too many barcodes identified, of course. So I'm going to have to identify or cross out one of them. And now come back here, get rid of this stuff, make it all single order, import, and looks like everything's good. Import orders. And one thing I want to point out in the order grid now that we're working with single orders that have barcodes is the column that I have here. So when you go to edit columns, in order to see this in your order grid, just be sure, because by default it will look like this, be up here. And you could just hit this plus or drag it and drop it down where you want to sort it in your columns. This is pretty cool because it's going to help me out once I build the route and once I approve it. So looking at the barcodes now, let me bounce them up to the top. There they are. It just says 2 and 1. But once you build the route and then approve and dispatch it, you're going to see something different within the order grid that's going to allow you to view midday real-time, validation as your drivers are scanning, and it's updating here in the interface. So once it builds and optimizes, I'm going to approve the route, and you'll see the change in the order grid. Okay. Barcodes are here still. Bounce them up to the top. Let's go looking for them. Bear with me, guys. There we go. Oh, there they are. All right. So now I'm going to see that on my schedule, obviously this is all built. I'm going to dispatch it. close dispatch menu, and once I dispatch it and approve it, let's take a look at those barcodes again. You'll see that it says 0 of 1 scan now that it's been approved and sent out to my driver on the mobile app. And one more thing I wanted to add is we've added a link for the random barcode generating, like a site that allows you to generate random barcodes, whatever you type in. You get to put that in the field, hit the refresh button, and then you could even scan it right off the monitor if you're willing to test this. But we're going to show you in later slides how this actually looks on the driver's mobile app and how it looks like in the interface once things are scanned and so on and so forth. The last thing I'm going to be getting into before I pass it back over is where the barcodes appear when you're creating orders manually. And of course, another pop-up is popping up here in order to point us in the right direction. So let's hit this right here. And then, of course, you can copy and paste your barcodes within this field, and they'll exist there. Same as importing. And I think that's about it. So let's get back to the slide. And Haley or Nicole, anything to add?
Hey, Yasser, thank you.
Hey.
So you went over a little bit of this already, but we're just going to look at this in a little bit more detail now. This is just some explanations here on what you as a planner or what your planners will see in the interface. So if you are already in an order, you have your order information tab and your execution events. While in the order information tab, if you scroll down, you can see your barcodes that are listed. So if you look, there's different types. There is the read-only mode. And also, if a barcode is really long, we're only going to show you the last digits of it. This is just to preserve space, make it easier to identify. Most of the time when people are looking at barcodes, they're looking at those last digits as a quick identifier. Just so you know, too, barcodes are limited to 100 characters. So that's something to be mindful of. And that's kind of why, too, in the space we provide there, we limit the number of characters and we only show you the last few ones. And then Yasser already went over this. What's neat here is in the order grid, if you have an order that has multiple barcodes, it's going to show you how many of them have been scanned. And Yasser, if you can hit next for me. There we go. And then we have assigned and unassigned. So we have an unassigned order that has 2 barcodes, and we have an assigned order that has 3. Can you hit again for me, please? Yep, there we go. So now if you were to click on the barcodes area in your order grid, you are going to get a tooltip panel that's going to pop up and help you further. When the order is assigned, this is going to show you how many were scanned. So in this example, we have one that was scanned. None of those 3 orders went, oop, can you go back? Thanks. Went unscanned. One of them was unreadable. One is a missing package. So the driver was able to indicate they went to do that, but that package is not there. So the driver is sending you lots of information using these barcodes. What will my driver see in the mobile app? So as Yasser started off with pick up and drop off, normal, your drivers are going to see their group of orders. Let's say it's at a depot. Under the type of pickup, if you look there, we see a barcode symbol and a little 0/15. That's telling us there are 15 barcodes at this address. Now, a limit per order is 10. In a pickup drop-off scenario, you can have up to 10 for your pickup, up to 10 for your drop-off. Why does this one have 15? Because this is a group of orders. So there are multiple orders in there. So that 15 represents the total number of packages to be picked up at this location for all of those orders. So now in a drop-off or pickup only, in this example, the driver has 3 barcodes for this order at this location. The driver can click on that barcode symbol and jump to that barcode list real quick if they want to get working on it. Proof of delivery screen. This is added in there as well now. So along with being able to do pictures and notes and signatures and voice notes, the barcode is right in there as well. The driver, again, can click on that icon and jump right in there. And then this last portion here is great. This is visual feedback for the driver. If they get that barcode symbol turning green, the order is done and all the barcodes are successful. If it's blue, then that means that the order is not marked as done yet and some or all of the barcodes were not scanned. In this instance, it's none of the barcodes were scanned. If we had a 1/3, then that would mean one of the 3 was scanned. And red, this tells the driver that the order was marked as done, but barcodes were not scanned. So we want to work with our drivers, ensure we're not in the red as much as possible. And then this here is what is your driver going to see in the mobile app? So smartphones, automatically the camera is set up to get these images and be able to read them. So all the driver needs to do is use their camera, no different than they would now to take a photo. Instead, they're going to aim their camera directly at the barcode. So this is nice and easy. If the barcode is present on the order and it can be read, they're going to get a nice little green check mark. And if you look below at the display, this driver has been able to have 2 that are successful. And there's a 3rd there that's still not done. This is an example of, okay, this barcode is not assigned to this order. Now, maybe it's packaged with this order. Maybe you've been set up and the driver's grabbing this. And what will happen for the driver is if they try to scan this barcode on an order it does not belong to, they will get that red X. And, oh, forgot to mention, if it's good, they're going to get a good sound from their smart device. If the barcode is not assigned to the order, they're going to get an error sound. And then as well, let's say the driver is going through and marking this stuff off, but now they want to come out of it. Maybe they made a mistake. They need to go back. If they click done, that's going to save all of their changes. If they hit cancel, they're going to get this cancel alert, and all the information that they were doing will be removed and they will need to start over. But that cancel alert will let them know of this and will keep them aware. So now, maybe a driver's already completed a scan, but they need to go back and update something. So for already scanned barcodes, the driver can do an undo. That puts it back in their list, and they can go back in almost like maybe they added a note to an order, and they need to completely redo that note. They can go in, they can delete that note, they can add a new note in. This gives your drivers the ability to work with the barcodes as well. So this is going to reset the barcode status to unscanned. Then they can go back in and they can update it. Maybe for that one we talked about on the last slide that the driver hadn't scanned yet, maybe it's unreadable or missing, or it's missing the barcode, or we're missing the package entirely. The driver can update that. They can set that reason, and that's going to come over to you and your planners in the interface. And then maybe they want to re-enable a barcode. So maybe something that they accidentally set as unable to scan, or maybe they set something as missing package and then found it later. They can go back in and re-enable it and redo the work and set it to a scanned. Now, 2, your driver can also see there's a little display there, and they can click on that and they can filter, and they can look at their barcodes according to type. All scanned, unscanned, unable to scan. And then for the unscanned barcodes, there will be a warning message when there are 1 or more unscanned barcodes and the order is marked as done. The driver will get a message indicating that. Okay, now what will we and our planners see in the interface? We went over a little bit of this before, but again, if you're physically in the order and you want to view now statuses of the barcodes that the driver sent in, if you go into the order and now you go into execution events instead of order information, you will be able to see what's been scanned, what's unreadable, missing barcodes, missing packages, and then you will also see if there are any unscans. At the same time, too, you will be able to, by clicking Edit in the execution events, maybe your driver found an update afterwards and they called it into you. They didn't update it in the mobile app. You will be able to go in and you can change the status of that barcode. And then also, can you go back one? Thanks, Yasser. There we go. Perfect. Also, under your scanned, if you go into it a step further in the execution events, if you hover over the little time steps, it's also going to tell you the date that was entered in. Why is that helpful? Maybe your driver crosses midnight, or maybe your driver didn't actually upload all the information immediately. You can see the actual timestamps similar to GPS tracking and the timestamps for photos and things like that. This will tell you when the driver did that. Or if you did an update, this will convert to the time you or your planner did the update in the interface. And now, just like with your other proofs of delivery, what else can you do? You can export this data. Just like with your other proofs of delivery, right now we're on orders. We'll get to that in a second. My brain's working a little ahead of itself. Order export. So just like now you can export your orders, you can use CSV or Excel. Little checkbox there. All you have to do is check mark it and it'll turn blue. And you can export with that information. And now onto your routes, same as with proof of delivery. If you check mark the boxes, you can have all that data exported with your exports. And again, you can do this in CSV or Excel. And then you can save that data for later use. Now again, too, we do save all of this information. So as your routes and your orders archive, all of this will be saved in case you need to export at a later time.
All right, so looking into the value of Route Manager 360, the real-time routes, it grays out orders for the drivers to let them know how they're progressing through the route. And you guys know real-time, that catches up to the interface for whoever is sitting behind the desktop version of Route Manager. And of course, the delivery order status, keeping up with more detail within the mobile app, letting the dispatcher know more than just, hey, I've progressed and moved on to the next stop. What is the reason? What did I actually do there? Was it completed, or was it, of course, marked as reschedule? And of course, we know the proofs of delivery options we have with the Route Manager 360 within the driver mobile app. You have the camera, you could take pictures, and then, of course, notes, signatures, and even leave voice memos, recordings. And then new and improved, brand new for everybody, the delivery validation, the barcode scanning we just went through, being able to see how many barcodes are associated with every order and having much more, hands off, leaving hopefully less human error within this whole process. And of course, virtual tracking. This is, within this, we're tracking a credential. When you log into the mobile app through your drivers that you assign to your routes, and then they log into the mobile app, you have the ability to see, of course, on the left, the driver breadcrumbs by going down to the styling option. That looks like a paint roller under the map. And then you have those green buttons at the bottom left there that represent the history, how far back in the breadcrumb history to see the cookie trail of where your vehicle has been. And of course, if you click on those breadcrumbs, you could see where your vehicle was at that time, and of course the time and date stamps that we mentioned that update real time. And then you have the track vehicles menu on the left there that allows you to set up your different settings and so on. And within this, you get to see which vehicles am I tracking via virtual tracking when they log in through those credentials. Moving on to customer notifications, everybody's familiar with this, and if you're not, you could take advantage of this, of course. Email messaging through the Surface Day, almost there, and status updates that you set up. It's pretty cool. You could test it out. You just go over to your settings in the top right, the 2 arrows next to Support Center, and you get there through the customer notifications pane, and we have great support articles to walk you through, and of course we're more than happy to explain this further. More about customer visibility with live tracking links throughout this, very customer facing GPS, almost there notifications, and of course SMS messaging is coming soon. And now it's off to questions. We're going to give you guys some time to put your questions within the questions pane in the GoToWebinar panel on the side of your screen. And we'll be happy to answer some of those. And if not, take the rest of those offline.
Thank you, Yasser. I'm looking over the questions now. Not too many coming in for this one. We did get some fun answers, of course, for the question around what systems you're using for tracking barcodes currently, or working with a CRM or an OMS. All the other different variations of ways to track these. Some of you built your own, which is really interesting, of course. And then some of you are passing ideas from NetSuite, and that certainly happens too. So thank you for sharing that with us. As Yasser was saying, please feel free to enter in any questions that you may have about barcode scanning, Route Manager 360, or any other features. This is an open forum, so it doesn't have to be just about the presentation. Scott asked a question about address verification in bulk. That one we'll take offline with you, just as it gets into some nitty-gritty. Then, okay. We do have a question coming in, so Haley or Yasser, either one of you. This question is asking, when could the live tracking be shown to our customer?
Hey, Mike, thank you. So are we talking the live tracking in the interface? That right now is not something that's available in terms of the customer notifications. If you're taking advantage of that, each of the notifications that gets sent to your customer, if you have our mobile tracking, our virtual tracking, or our GPS tracking, that will contain links for your customer to be able to see where the driver is at that time of the notification.
Yes, and I think the question was in reference to the customer notifications. So those can be set to go at a time frame, so that as a driver is approaching the address, you can show a live map of that being updated. We can take that offline if you want to see a bit more about that too. It does require the mobile app and a GPS solution as well. And we're going to leave the line open for a few more minutes to see if any questions come in. It is, and Nicole could speak to this too. One of the really great value adds of the barcode scanning right now is that in this time of contactless delivery and social distancing, being able to prove that your drivers are there are more important than ever. So proof of delivery plus barcode scanning is really a great way to up the accountability, both for you and your customers, and get peace of mind that these items are actually making it to where they need to go. Okay, a few questions just came in all of a sudden, so this is great. So this question comes in from Andrea. It wants to know who is going to send us the scanner. So I just so with that, the phone, and for us, the phone is the scanner. So if you have the Route Manager mobile app, and of course Route Manager 360, you're able to use our mobile app to scan using the camera the barcode and test it against the order, like Haley was showing you before.
Yeah, it almost looks like you're turning on your phone's camera, and then there's like a little red line in the middle there that you like move up and down to scan the barcode, and it's got some pretty good distance on it too.
Yeah, so it's not a hardware scanner. We're using a mobile device.
Mm-hmm.
This question comes in from David. Do barcodes get coordinates as proof of delivery attributes in the API when they are scanned? Yasser, I think you were just working with our API specialist. If you happen to know the answer to that question, feel free to take it. If not, we can always take it offline, David.
I would love to review that actually and take it offline.
Perfect. probably didn't come up. We'll find out that answer for you. Let's see, this question comes in from Roy. It is not related to proof of delivery or barcode scanning. He wants to know how long until WorkWave has the options to have drivers click and start at the depot and end at the return depot. I don't think we have any kind of update on that just yet. We can take it offline to see if our product team has any kind of idea about when that could possibly be coming, or if we have to log it as a feature consideration for you. Scott wants to know, is there a way that we can see the answers to others' questions that are provided offline? It's not a feature of the GoToMeeting, but we are going to share the recording with you, so you'll have that on you too. So that should do it, because you can always go right to about the minute 40 or so. Otherwise, if you want a few more details, you can always enter in a support ticket and we can see what we can do to track down some of the answers. Everything we're doing live, so nothing's being written and sent to anyone in the chat. So everything you're hearing, you're hearing here, and it's going to be on the recording as well. David asks, Paley or Yasser, I'm not sure which one of you want to take it. Is there a timeout for how long the driver can have the scanner active while scanning barcodes?
So that is a great question there, David. Thank you for that one. We can circle back with you on that. As far as I know, for a driver's camera in general, it depends on the settings they have in their device. So for example, I have on my personal smartphone that if I'm idle for more than a minute, that my phone will lock. Now, if I'm in an active app at the time, it opens back up to the app. But I can definitely go back to our engineering team and find out if there's a limitation in the mobile app itself for you.
Great. We love the questions, especially the ones that are like, oh, didn't think someone was going to ask that today. That's great, though. So thank you for that. We will circle back. We aim to always get back to everyone within 7 to 10 days. If not sooner, of course, for some of these questions around new features. And of course, if some of these questions keep coming up again and again, we'll always be able to pop it into an FAQ document for you and anyone else who may have that question later on. So I say we can leave the lines open for another few minutes. Not many other questions are coming in right now. Nicole, I didn't know if you wanted to start wrapping up, and if we had any other questions, we can certainly swing back to them.
Sure, definitely. Yes, like you said, we'll give it a couple more minutes and then I'll just close out. Thank you, Mike.
Just as a quick topic of conversation, right? Because we'll give it in a minute or two for any questions on the features. You can always feel free to put into the questions pane too. I'm sure Nicole will be interested. I'm certainly interested about how everyone's businesses have been affected by COVID-19 and at the bits of self-quarantine. Are you finding yourself busier, less busy? Has it affected your drivers at all? It's definitely something that's top of mind for us as we start rolling out these proof of delivery and customer notification features. So of course, interested if anyone wants to share. But we did get some questions in. I think it's just doing something with bulk. This question comes in from Rebecca. Can a driver scan a barcode without it being built in the planner?
So I'll grab that one, Mike. So Rebecca, what would happen there is similar to an unreadable barcode or a barcode that's not part of the order. If it's not in the planner, the answer is no. The purpose here is for, ensuring that what was picked and put on the vehicle is what the driver is scanning. So if that barcode is not present on the order, can the driver add a barcode in and have that come back in? No. We can definitely see if, that's something we'll be looking into for the future.
Thank you, Haley. This question comes in from Andrea. This one is, and do we have to use a scanner, or can we do this without using the scanner? So I'm not sure I quite understand the question. We can reach out to you to talk about the feature a bit more in depth, or maybe your account manager can. We can circle back with you on that. Adeline did volunteer that COVID-19 is really affecting them. Their drivers aren't working, which I'm very sorry to hear that. You know, we're hoping to see things, of course, improve, and that hopefully things get better for you more than anything. Just know that for our part, we are here if you need us for anything that we can help you with, especially on this side of the work. All right, Nicole, that seems to be it for questions. If you want to wrap us up.
Absolutely. Well, as always, we thank you so much for attending this workshop. We have you always in our thoughts and in our prayers that you make it through this even better than you were before. We know these are very difficult and challenging times. And as Mike has said, as I have said, and on behalf of all of us at WorkWave, we consider ourselves an extension of your team. And we are absolutely here to support you in any way that we can. So with that said, have a wonderful day. Please continue to stay safe. And if you need us, let us know. Thank you.